classroom door. In our previous video, we were looking at how we find fractions of shapes. Now today we're going to look at how we can find fractions of amounts or numbers and how that works. Let's take a look.
Okay, so fractions of numbers. The first fraction we're going to look at is 1/5 of 25. Now, the easiest way to calculate fractions of numbers when you first start out is to use number line. So if we put a 0 at this end and 25 at this end, we are looking to find 1/5 of 25. So all we are going to do is jump along in fives until we get along to the end number, okay? So all we need to do then is count the number of jumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 jumps. So we are basically doing the division fact. 25 divided by 5, and we've said we have 5 jumps. That gives us our answer. So 1/5 of 25 equals 5. If we move on to the next example, 1/3 of 21. So again, this time I'll write the division fact, 31 divided by 3. 21 is the whole number, we're looking for 1/3, so we're dividing by 3s. So I'm going to put 21 at the end of the number line, 0 at this end, and then I'm just going to count in jumps of 3. Last one, 21. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jumps. So 21 divided by 3, the answer is 7. So 1/3 of 21, the answer would be 7. Now the next step for this is to then find 2/5 or 3/5 or 4/5 or whatever your number would be at the front. So in order to do this, we're going to use the same method to begin with. So we're going to put 0 here and we're going to put 35 over here, not forgetting 35, and we're dividing by 5. We're going to find out 1/5 first of all, okay? So if we calculate 1/5 of 35, we'll then move on to finding 2/5. So counting in 5s, all the way along until we get to 35. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jumps. So 1/5 of 35 equals 7. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So now that I've found 1/5, I'm going to multiply my answer, 1/5, by 2. And multiplying it by 2 will then find me 2/5. So I'm going to write 7 times it by 2. That gives me 14. 2/5 of 35 would be 14. So that would be my answer up here. I hope that helps.
Hi, and welcome to Behind the Classroom Door's Top Tip. Now today we're going to look at some important multiplications that will really help your children to remember their times tables. Now by using the calculations that we've got on the board, they can easily calculate their way around other numbers as well. So even if they do struggle with their times tables as a whole, these are some really important calculations for them to get the hang of. Now obviously as they grow older, we would start to refer to these calculations as square numbers. But for the younger children, we tend to just talk to them about these being key calculations for them to learn. So obviously 4 times 4, we have is 16, 5 times 5, 25, 6 times 6, 36, 7 times 7, 49, and 8 times 8, 64. Now, obviously, the relationship between these numbers is important for the children to learn, but really, if your child is struggling with remembering their 7 times table, by learning 7 times 7, that gives them a focus point to work from. So if they do struggle with multiplying, if they learn 7 times 7 equals 49, then it's easy for them to work backwards and to work forwards. So they go down to 42 for 7 times 6, or up to 56 for 7 times 8. Now, as tests approach, or when you're doing sit-down work with your children, these are some really useful calculations for them to learn. Mental maths and things like that will really be improved. And it's a good way for them to learn jumping points throughout their times tables. And they can use these as a reference points for everything else. 6 times 7 goes up to 42, which obviously leads back to what we've been working on with our 7 times table. Give it a go, see if your children respond to it well. It's just a nice, easy tip and an easy way for them to remember their calculations.